Brought to you by RJ Boxing. Strength and conditioning.
Welcome everyone, welcome to RJ Boxing S&C. Today we're going to talk about prediction of Clarke vs Wardley, and Jack will go into details of the fight.
So yeah, this fight's coming up on March the 31st. It's an all-British heavyweight clash between two up-and-coming heavyweights. You got Fabio Wardley a bit further along in his pro career, but obviously come from the unlicensed scene. Many people believe he's already overachieving as a heavyweight, but he starts as a favourite in this one against a guy in Frazer Clarke who is disappointed as a professional so far, but has got a brilliant amateur background, a solid amateur pedigree. There's a bit of bad blood between these two, which obviously always makes it more exciting. They've been wanting to fight each other for a couple years now. And yeah, now we're finally here, just over a week away from the fight. And I know many people are disagreeing with their picks on this one already. So me and Rav are going to give our predictions for this right now. So yeah, Rav, who do you think is going to win this fight and why?
I think Wardley's going to win this fight. The reason why I think he's going to win this fight, because he's got more experience in the pro rankings. And he's got his last 16 fights have all been knockouts, and that's tremendous. So I think he's got an advantage. I know Clarke's had a lot of knockouts as well, but he's got less fights under his belt. And also Wardley does a lot of strength conditioning, so he utilises a lot of power in his punches, and he loves throwing hooks. And I think he's going to get the stoppage, early stoppage with a right hook. Maybe a body shot and then a hook. He likes to go to the body and the head, so that's what my opinion.
So yeah, Rav's going with Fabio Wardley. I'm actually going to go with Frazer Clarke. It is a very tough one to pick, and I understand why people are making Fabio Wardley the favourite. He's done much more as a professional so far, fought much better names. Frazer Clarke, as I said earlier in the video, has been a disappointment since turning pro, but I think the big difference here is that Fabio Wardley has come from the unlicensed scene, done very well as a pro coming from that, but Frazer Clarke has got that amateur pedigree. He's used to fighting in the Olympics, in the World Championships against some of the best heavyweights on the planet, and although he hasn't done it and shown how good he can be as a pro so far, I think his skill set is actually way above Wardley's. And I think we may see Wardley even get exposed a little bit in this fight because he's going to be super confident. He's going to think he's the big favourite. He has got the advantage with power. But I think as we get a few rounds into this, you'll see Frazer Clarke's ability and skill and timing start to get the better of Fabio Wardley, start to catch him as he's coming in. And I think Rav said Wardley could get the stoppage. I also think Frazer Clarke could get a stoppage in the mid to late rounds in this one. But it's definitely interesting and there's a lot to break down. So yeah, Rav, you're obviously picking Wardley to win, but what are the reasons for this? What's Wardley's main strengths and Frazer Clarke's main weaknesses going into this fight?
Wardley's strengths are that he does a lot of strength and conditioning with his coach, Danny Wilson. He does a lot of power exercises, plyometrics, box jumps and med ball throws and things like that. And he utilises lifting heavy weights for explosive power, lifting it very explosively. And the weaknesses of Clarke is that he hasn't got brilliant stamina. So later on in the rounds, he's going to feel fatigued. And that's when Wardley's going to stop him with his power, utilising his power with hooks and uppercuts and body shots. He's going to outdo him.
So that's Fabio Wardley's strengths and Frazer Clarke's weaknesses that Rav's just gone through. Now I'm going to do it the other way round. I'm going to give you the reasons why I think Clarke wins the fight and why Fabio Wardley loses. And I'm going to come back to it again. I think the main thing is the amateur pedigree of Clarke and the unlicensed background of Wardley. I'm not saying you can't make it coming from the unlicensed. Wardley has done that, but I think the little things you'll start to notice in this fight that Frazer Clarke has the advantage with. Yes, Fabio Wardley might look better on the eye. He's got more athleticism, got more speed and power, but the technique, timing beats speed, and I think when it comes down to it, skills and technique can beat strength and athleticism. They usually do all the time. Look at the likes of Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. Deontay Wilder, much more athletic, much more powerful, but the skill of Tyson Fury pretty much outdone him in every single fight they had. Obviously, this is at a much lower level, but I think Frazer Clarke will be able to find the openings as Fabio Wardley lunges in with them big hooks, them big shots. He's quite open. He fights with his hands down. Some fighters can get away with that. He has got away with it so far, but the timing of Frazer Clarke, and he's neat and he's compact, and I don't think he has to be busy to win this one. I think in the first few rounds, You'll see Wardley doing all the work, bouncing in and out, looking all flashy like he usually does. But then Frazer Clarke will just look, he'll wait, let Wardley like show the openings, and then all he's got to do is pounce on them. We know Frazer Clarke's got power, we know he's strong, we know he hits hard enough to hurt Wardley. We've seen Wardley stunned and in the early rounds of other fights against guys who don't hit as hard and who ain't as good. So I think, yeah, round about rounds 4 or 5, you'll see Frazer Clarke start to land the big bombs, start to break Wardley down, drop him once or twice. And then I'm going to say, I think Frazer Clarke stops him in his 7th or 8th round, around the mid-rounds. So yeah, that's how we think it's going to go, but we can never know for sure with boxing. That's the exciting thing about the sport, and this one really is a 50-50 fight that could go either way. We can't be fully confident with this one. So yeah, over to you guys as fans. Let us know in the comment section below who you think is going to win this fight and why and how.
We appreciate your time and thank you for watching, and please support our channel and subscribe, please.